I am Jovi Rivera, and this video is for the research proposal or presentation for DEVCOM204. And the idea of the research topic came after the statements usually drop out by our senior citizen for their health. So it's like, huwag na tayo magpa-check up, gastos lang yan. So I always imagine my parents on their situation. What if my parents or your parents deprioritize their health care just because of insufficient or lack of information regarding their medical discounts and privileges? So I welcome you on this video entitled OSCA, which means Office of the Senior Citizens Affair, the knowledge and power of our senior citizens. This research proposal is entitled OSCA, Knowledge and Power of Senior Citizens. And by the way, OSCA means Office of the Senior Citizens Affair, because this only boils down to this office as the source of knowledge, which may become power later on for the senior citizens when it comes to their health decision making. And for their rationale, this study will provide knowledge for senior citizens regarding the importance of the Office of the Senior Citizens Affairs. This will also clarify ways and methods on how OSCA disseminate information regarding the senior citizens' medical discounts and privileges, and also will provide knowledge to senior citizens on their medical discounts and privileges. So for the research problem, how does the Office of the Senior Citizens Affair communicate the medical discounts and privilege entitlements to senior citizens and its effect to the decision making of our senior citizens towards their healthcare decisions? Two things the study will explore on different programs of the OSCA regarding the information dissemination of this medical discounts and privileges. And by knowing it, will it be able to affect senior citizens' decisions towards their health care? So basically, these are the objectives when it comes to this study, of course. We have to identify the base facts that we have, that we initially had before this idea came up. So first is we have to identify the percentage of the discount. We also have to identify the knowledge of the senior citizens based on the information provided by the OSCA, and we also have to explore the duties and responsibilities of the senior citizens. Next is we have to identify, is there any program that Office of the Senior Citizens Affair made and are active nowadays to disseminate information regarding the discounts and privileges. And the next, of course, is we have to determine if knowing these discounts and privileges can somehow change the senior citizens' focus or decision on their health care. And lastly, is to get any recommendation from our senior citizens on improvement of the process when it comes to information dissemination of the Office of the Senior Citizens Affairs based on the law. So for the review of the related literature, we will tackle the law and OSCA based on the Republic Act number 9994, which is the Expanded Senior Citizens Act. If you're going to notice, they're all 20% discount for the professional fees of the physicians, medical supplies, medicines, accessories, equipment. For the vaccine, we only have influenza and pneumococcal vaccines available. For the private hospitals, for the home healthcare services, professional fees of the private nurses and physical therapists, as long as there's an endorsement from a private hospital or home healthcare agencies, there will be a 20% discount. And for this, the government or Department of Health is also giving free vaccination, of course, for the influenza virus and pneumococcal vaccines for the indigent senior citizens patient. So yeah, this is the role of the OSCA based on the law, Expanded Senior Citizens Act. First, the Office of the OSCA must have plan, implement, and monitor programs in pursuance of the objectives of the Act. So basically, they are the one who make the programs for the senior citizens affair, and later on, during the data gathering, we have to get data. They have projects regarding the information dissemination. Second is to serve as a general information or liaison center for senior citizen. So if you're gonna check the card at the back of the card of the senior citizens ID or identification card, you will see this list of the discounts. And first, of course, health, free medical and dental diagnosis and laboratory in all government facilities, 20% discount for medicines and other. This is the only basis of the senior citizens if they are not going or if they are not consulting or to the Office of the Senior Citizens Affair. So take into consideration that every purchase of medicine with discount or any other amenities or privileges must have prescriptions from physician. Now, prescription that includes your name as a patient, age, address, and date, generic name of the medicine, name and address. And by the way, non-PhilHealth members can also avail discount and privileges by just showing the senior citizens identification card. To avail the medical discounts and privileges. So senior citizens should show their identification card. Senior citizens identification card with prescription. If there's no prescription, then the senior citizen should avail one from a private physician or a physician from the nearest barangay healthcare center. And actually, there are several complaints before in the internet about the vitamins and the mineral supplements because these supplements doesn't have any prescription, so they are not allowed. Senior citizens want this to be reviewed as this is for disease prevention. So what I'm gonna do is a qualitative research, but I still stated here my hypotheses. These are my hypotheses that the senior citizens are all aware of the percentage of the discount because of course it's already stated in the identification card. They are also aware of the discounts of medicine, hospitalization, laboratory diagnostics, and medical dental services, but not the specifications. They are also aware about the Office of the Senior Citizens Affair, and the Office of the Senior Citizens Affair has methods and projects that to disseminate information regarding the senior citizens discount. Hypothesis of knowing the medical discount and privileges can fully help them or the senior citizens decide to focus on healthcare. Lastly is several suggestions from the senior citizens to promote information dissemination. So for the theoretical framework, I chose theory of planned behavior. This communication theory explains that behavior is caused by one's intentions. Intention then comes after the beliefs and norms of a person, therefore disconnects one's belief into his or her behavior. Communication comes as an after effect of the cycle because with this kind of theory, improving communication is a must because right communication changes beliefs and norms. So this is my conceptual framework. Let's entitled effective knowledge and financial incapacitation that will all boil down to postpone of health, delay in healthcare, assumption that discounts are not enough, healthcare is the least priority, which will cause demotivation to focus and limitation for proper and complete healthcare. The location will be Barangay Rizal in Makati City. 5.75% from the total household population comprises our senior citizens in National Capital Region. So I applied it to Makati household population, resulted and divided it into 33 barangays of Makati, resulted to 918 total population. The sampling, I used
Slovine's formula. The margin of error that I chose is 95% or 0.05. The result was 285 senior citizens within Barangay Rizal, Makati City.
For the research instrument tool, I'm going to use interview questionnaire guide. That this is just to guide, of course, the interview that will happen to senior citizens, between senior citizens and the researcher. So showing you my interview questionnaire guide. So there are 14 questions, but of course the researchers can also have a follow-up question guided with an observation, a noted observation. This is also an interview questionnaire guide for the data gathering or interview between the researcher and an OSCA officer just to get the. This is an interview questionnaire guide between for the interview between the OSCA officer and the researcher just to get the programs and the status of it. So as a research design, I will use grounded theory. This will be conducted through interview guided by, of course, an interview questionnaire. Keen observation with notation. In the end, we will come up with a theory that will somehow prove that the effect, if there is an effect, of a knowledge to the healthcare decisions of our senior citizen. So for data gathering procedure, data is collected through an interview guided by an interview question and observation. Apart from this, an interview will also be scheduled to an OSCA officer near Barangay Rizal to identify different programs and action plans as far as communication about medical privileges and benefits are concerned. Interview will be recorded and encoded in the computer to come up with a raw data to be a basis for data analysis. For data analysis, we have to first use open coding method. This will deconstruct the several or too many ideas and concepts. And we have to find certain commonalities. We have to find common grounds, common concepts. Second is the actual coding, which will connect these remaining ideas and concepts. For the last is the selective coding that will identify the core category. In the end, we will come up with a theory. That's it. That wraps up my video presentation for my research proposal. Thank you for watching and thank you for listening.